Hey everybody, welcome to the Evangelist Nick Garrett channel. I was doing the grocery shopping today and something hit me. A couple months ago I made a video about Hinn when all this talk was going on about him, and he had put this video out where he had allegedly made, like a dramatic conversion to born-again Christianity, abandoning the prosperity ideals that, while for some are secondary doctrine, for others, the financial seed planting in the seeker model churches are the gospel. And I was very hard on him. I was pretty objective in the video. I based it on several interviews and written texts. And today I caught myself in a moment of hypocrisy. I'm very quick to want to authenticate what Kanye West is experiencing, and I was curious about that as a matter of self-reflection. I'm not here to tell you what you should think. I can only tell you what I think. Well, first of all, for some of you, because I know you're going to comment this, it's none of my business, and I can promise you Kanye West and Hinn don't care what I think. I'm just sharing with you what I think after reading both and looking at both and reflecting on the fact that there's clearly something here. Why was I so quick to judge one as lacking authenticity and one as being authentic or wanting to see it as authentic? And is there grounds for that? So, like I did with the Hinn video, I spent a couple hours watching interviews from Kanye West, looking at his discography, understanding his bibliography, and coming to a conclusion about why I was so quick to want to authenticate his conversion. Conversion is not the right word, as you'll see, but recommitment maybe. So you have to go back in time with Kanye West's story. First of all, he's always identified as a Christian. Early in his career, he did gospel Christian music. I found an interview that he recorded 10 years ago where he was professing his personal love for Jesus. He talks about his personal story, which is so important to why what's going on now is important. Kanye West is by no means a new Christian, a new babe. He, first of all, tells his story of, starting out with God in his heart and then being part of the culture and the industry and bending his ways to the culture and the world for financial reasons, to try to make money. He was trying to have his cake and eat it too, be a Christian, and yet at the same time put out albums glorifying violence and death and sex and all these things that are not Christian. He tells this story himself, and he had a mental break from it and ended up in a hospital for it. He now talks openly about these things, but he talks about the dramatic experience he had in the hospital and how it recommitted his action to Christ, that he realized the mistake he made was trying to do both, juggle his Christianity and the world, and that it couldn't be done. And he tells this amazing story of the phoenix rising from the ashes, of a man who, while claiming his belief in Christianity, was totally broken down and then built back up. I do have one fear. My fear is that I always am afraid every time I see something in mainstream media, everything you see about Christianity in mainstream media is negative, undermining. This person left the faith. This group is arguing. Christians are bad. Their history is bad. It is very rare that you see anything positive about Christianity other than the culture's version of Christianity. So is there part of that happening here? Kanye West is getting a lot of mainstream publicity for the work that he's done with Jesus is King, his album, his Sunday service gospel album, which I have listened to. And I relate to the lyrics. He's very critical of the institutional model of church and lifts up the idea of a born-again Christian experience. He speaks very raw and real, which I relate with. I had a conversion experience much like him where I, in my early life, confessed Christianity, but outwardly there was no showing of it. Ended up in a hospital as a broken man, had a dramatic born-again experience, and Christ changed my life. There's an interview that I'm putting in the video description that you really have to watch because it answers everything. It's about 45 minutes long. I was motivated in part to do this because I belong to about 20 different Christian type Facebook groups, whether they be Calvinist or Catholic or Protestant or Oneness Pentecostal, just to see and hear what people are talking about across the Christian spectrum. And while neither of these men, Kanye West or Benny Hinn, care what I think, and I'm not an authority, there is a bit of a responsibility to make a video if you are publicly talking about Christianity, evangelizing the gospel. There's a bit of a responsibility to put these things in context for people like me. So, given that, I feel like I can only share it through my lens of how I feel. You're going to have to make your own decisions, but watch the video I did on Benny Hinn, and then watch this interview with Kanye West. Listen to his album. It's worth it. Now, bottom line, at the end of the day, my feelings are at least justified with myself that Kanye West definitely experienced a true return and repentance to Jesus Christ. And with Benny Hinn, it still remains to be seen. Both are married men. Both have children. Kanye West, for example, has been married for 5 years and has 4 children. I know for myself that the family unit, the strong family unit, is the edifying grace through which God works to help people bear fruit in their lives. A simpler way to say it is my defects of character are put plain in my face every day, whether it's patience with my children, respect with my wife, all these things that confront us on a daily basis. And when I hear there's another man my age having this struggle who had a Christian experience similar to mine, it's very easy for me to say, yeah, I think there's something here. Now, with Benny Hinn, the issue was that he's made these types of claims before, and it was clearly a career move, versus Kanye West, who is pouring his personal self out in describing his relationship with Jesus Christ, and wants so badly to be heard that he's willing to put this Christian work into the mainstream and have it consumed, even though it's likely going to be torn up by the culture, because that's what it does. You can't take a cultural that is morally relativistic, secular, and naturalistic and expect it not to chew up something that is supernatural, traditional, and truth. Flat out truth. Anyway, interesting videos. Let me know what you think. What do you feel about Kanye and Benny Hinn? Are they different? Are they both the same? Do they both deserve the same benefit of the doubt? Check it out in the comments, and I look forward to talking to you next time. Thanks.